This is terrifying. This researcher was never supposed to go into the jungle alone, but when he did, he sent a chilling final message before disappearing. It all started when an explorer and scientist named Daniel Price went deep into the jungle alone and made one final broadcast over his radio before going missing. The last anyone heard from him was a single radio transmission. He sounded breathless, scared, and his voice was barely audible through static. But the final words were clear. "I see eyes in the trees." After that, silence. What happened next has haunted every member of the rescue team since. Daniel Price wasn't a thrill seeker. He was a conservation researcher, passionate about jungle ecosystems and documenting animal behavior. So when he received permission to study a remote, uninhabited section of the Congolese jungle, he went alone. Just a tent, his radio, 2 trail cams, and a journal. For 4 days, his logs were routine. Reports of monkey groups, jaguar tracks, and canopy bird activity. But on the 5th day, his notes changed. "Something's off. Animals have gone quiet. At night, I hear movement above me, not monkeys, heavy." That night, he radioed the base team. "I see eyes in the trees," he said. Then the line went dead. A helicopter was sent at first light. They found his last known coordinates. His camp was intact, his gear untouched, his tent was zipped, his journal open to a blank page. The fire was still smoldering, which meant he had been there just hours before. But there were no tracks leading away from the site. The only clue? His trail cameras. One was destroyed, its lens shattered. The other, facing the tree line, captured something strange. At 2:11 a.m., a flicker of motion. Eyes, at least 6 pairs, reflecting the infrared. The shapes were tall, hunched, and not human. They didn't blink, they simply watched. And then, at 2:14 a.m., they were gone. The search and rescue team returned empty-handed. And as weeks turned into months, fear turned to sorrow, then to frustration. Frustration at the unanswered question, where is he? Locals were reluctant to speak. One man eventually came forward and told the team about the lookers, spirits or creatures said to guard parts of the forest untouched by man. "They don't like to be seen," he said, "and they never blink." There were no signs of struggle, no blood, no drag marks, no trail, as if Daniel had simply vanished. To this day, his body has never been recovered. But that last message, "I see eyes in the trees," remains etched in the minds of everyone who heard it. Was it a predator, a legend, or something science can't explain? Well, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. And while we may never know exactly what Daniel saw in those fateful moments, we can speculate. First, let's consider the scientific approach. Could it have been an animal? Perhaps a big cat like a jaguar, known to inhabit the area. Jaguars are excellent swimmers and stalk their prey with stealth, often approaching from behind and leaping onto their victim. This could explain the heaviness Daniel heard and the lack of any other signs of struggle or attack. If it was a jaguar, maybe it managed to scare Daniel off before making the kill. However, the camera footage of the mysterious figures doesn't seem to match any known species. The upright posture and hunched appearance doesn't resemble a jaguar or any other feline. Plus, big cats typically hunt during the day, not in the middle of the night. What about the locals' stories of the lookers? Could these elusive creatures be real? It's hard to say. The Congo is home to many indigenous tribes, each with their own folklore and beliefs. Stories of mysterious beings lurking in the forest are common, often serving as cautionary tales to keep people away from dangerous areas. However, separating fact from fiction is nearly impossible. These stories are passed down through generations, and there's no concrete evidence to prove or disprove their existence. Could it be possible that a group of these so-called lookers could have surrounded Daniel's camp, observing him without being seen? Did they perhaps take him away in the middle of the night? It's a scary thought, but again, there's no physical evidence to support it. No footprints, no disturbed vegetation, nothing. So what happened to Daniel Price? The truth is, we may never know. His disappearance remains a mystery, a chilling reminder of the vast unknown that lies within our world. In the end, What do you think happened to Daniel? Do you believe his story? I would love to hear your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it with others who might also find it interesting. This is Jungle Echoes Rescue and Mystery. And remember, if you ever venture into the wild, always be aware of your surroundings. Some places hold secrets best left undisturbed. Now let's move on to another terrifying tale from the jungle. In our next video, we'll explore another chilling incident that happened in the dense and unforgiving jungle. If you're ready to hear another scary story, stay tuned and watch this next video. This woman was hiking in the jungle when she vanished without a trace. Her last message was, "Help me." Before her phone died, nobody knows what really happened to her until her husband finds a horrifying clue that leads him into the jungle to discover the truth. It all started when a young woman named Amy decided to take a solo hike in the dense and isolated jungle. Despite warnings from locals, she ventured deep into the wilderness, leaving behind only a faint trail. But soon she found herself lost and in grave danger. As darkness fell, Amy's fear grew. She stumbled upon a clearing and collapsed, too exhausted to go on. Just as she lost hope, she spotted a cave nearby and crawled inside. To her relief, it offered shelter and a sense of security. Amy spent the night in the cave, hoping for rescue in the morning. But when sunlight streamed in, she realized it was high noon. She had slept through most of the day. Panic surged through her as she understood the gravity of her situation. She needed help, and fast. Amy quickly gathered some rocks and arranged them near the cave entrance, forming a makeshift sign. Then she retraced her steps, hoping to find a landmark that could help rescuers locate her. Meanwhile, her husband Tom had filed a missing persons report. He and the search team scoured the area, following every lead, but found no trace of Amy. Days turned into a week, yet Tom refused to give up hope. Then came the breakthrough. Tom noticed something unusual in the photos taken by the search team. One of the caves they had explored showed signs of recent activity, a small fire and markings made by someone trying to get out. Tom immediately rushed back to the cave. There, amidst the rocks, he found a familiar sight, a pair of earrings identical to those Amy always wore. Overwhelmed with both relief and apprehension, Tom knew he had to go inside. As he ventured deeper into the cave, the air grew colder and a strange, musty odor filled his nostrils. The cave narrowed, forcing Tom to crawl through a tight passage. Finally, he reached a larger chamber, and there, illuminated by a faint glow, lay Amy. But something was terribly wrong. Her skin had taken on a greenish hue, and her eyes stared blankly ahead. It was as if she had been dead for days. With trembling hands, Tom touched her, calling out to her, but there was no response. Had Amy perished in the cave? How could she have survived so long without food or water? And what had caused her skin to turn green? Tom stumbled back, his mind racing with questions. He noticed strange symbols carved into the cave walls, suggesting this place held more secrets. Suddenly, the ground beneath them rumbled. Rocks loosened from the ceiling, crashing down. Tom realized the cave was unstable. He had to get Amy out before it collapsed. With renewed urgency, he began the arduous task of carrying her on his back through the narrow passage. As they moved, the tremors intensified. Rocks rained down, blocking their path. Struggling to free himself, Tom realized their only chance was to climb to the top of the cave. Scrambling upwards, they finally emerged from the opening, blinking against the bright sunlight. They had made it out just in time. The cave entrance had partially collapsed. With Amy safely on the ground, Tom cradled her, tears streaming down his face. He called for medical help, knowing time was critical. Soon, paramedics arrived, rushing Amy to the nearest hospital. Despite the quick response, Amy was beyond help. The cave's unique conditions had preserved her body, turning her skin green due to a reaction between the minerals and her blood. It was a rare phenomenon known as algaexia. The tragedy shook the local community. Many questioned Amy's decision to venture into the forbidden jungle, but Tom refused to blame her, understanding her adventurous spirit. He pored over the details of her disappearance, revisiting the cave. He studied the markings, realizing they were ancient tribal symbols indicating a sacred burial ground. Overwhelmed with grief and determination, Tom vowed to honor Amy's memory. He worked with the local authorities to establish a nature reserve, protecting the sensitive ecosystem and preserving his wife's legacy. 1 year after the tragedy, Tom stood at the edge of the reserve, a place now named Amy's Sanctuary. As he looked out over the lush landscape, he felt a sense of peace. Though Amy was gone, her spirit lived on in the sanctuary's beauty. The case of Amy's disappearance remained a mystery. The cave's bizarre preservation and the tribal symbols offered glimpses into a hidden world, but no definitive answers. As the sun set, casting long shadows over the jungle, Tom knew that some secrets are best left undisturbed. The dense foliage and ancient caves held mysteries that defied explanation, reminding him of the day he lost his wife in the heart of the jungle. The jungle's embrace is both alluring and dangerous. While its beauty captivates, it also conceals secrets best left untouched. The eerie tale of Amy serves as a haunting reminder to respect the boundaries of nature's embrace. When venturing into the wilderness, one must tread carefully, for the jungle's allure can easily turn deadly. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the heart of the jungle, where nature's embrace can turn sinister in an instant. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up and share it with others who appreciate tales of mystery and the macabre. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling narratives that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And as the sun sets and the shadows grow long, remember to stay close to the light and beware the whispers of the jungle, for they may carry secrets that are best left unheard.